What's up, guys? I got a great video for you today. If you are looking for more power on your forehand, more consistency, more control, more balance, do you want a lesson with a former top 100 ATP Pro for free right now? Well, then don't skip this video. Watch this video all the way to the end, because I have for you today the great Jeff Salzenstein from Tennis Evolution. He is part of our TennisCon 4 event, where we get the best coaches on the planet, where they have one simple mission, and that's to help you become the best tennis player you can be. So we're gonna be doing that in October, and I always love to bring our TennisCon All-Stars to help you, to show you what they're gonna be preparing to do in the next couple of months. So enjoy this great lesson on the forehand from Jeff Salzenstein. Make sure to go over to his YouTube channel and make sure to smash up that subscribe button, and go below in the description and get your early bird pass to TennisCon 4, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care.
There's a very good chance that your forehand is suffering because of one thing, and one thing only, and it begins with the letter B. Can you guess what it is? Hi, my name is Jeff Salzenstein. I'm the founder of Tennis Evolution, one of the leading online tennis instruction websites in the world. I'm a former top 100 ATP player, and I'm absolutely passionate about helping players like you take the next step in their tennis journey and improve faster than ever. In this lesson today, we're going to talk about that B word. It is one of my favorite words in tennis, and when I give lessons, you'll find that I'll use this word often. And the B word is balance. And we've got a question at the channel asking, how do we work on forehand balance? And it's a great question, and I work on it again in every single lesson. Balance is the master key to success, and I want to get into this lesson today. A lot of problems that I see with balance and forehands going haywire and not feeling confident is because the balance is off. And so we do a lot of little tests and little drills to make sure that the balance continues to improve. And this should be part of your fundamentals when you swing. So a couple of things that I see. One is when players swing, they lift up their shoulder and they move their head this way. So they're yanking their body like this, and so their body is falling this direction as they hit the ball. Okay, very, very common mistake. That's why I started with it today. And of course, you want to avoid that mistake. Players swing, they lift the shoulder and they move the head. Now, depending on how big your head is, it weighs anywhere from 8 to 10, even 12 pounds if you have a really big head. I happen to have a small head. I've got a peanut head, so I'm probably in the lower range with weight. But still, if you move that head just a little bit before contact, it's going to impact the quality of your shot. And if you try to steer that ball by lifting the shoulder like this, it's going to affect the quality of your shot. And a lot of players focus so much on their grip and their first move and their finish and their coil and their turn, but I don't hear a focus on balance enough. So a quick fix right off the bat, you're in the middle of the court and you want to step into a forehand. Quick fix for balance is when you swing. When you're done with the swing, notice where my head is. My head stays on this side of my body, the hitting side of my body. Watch again, my head stays on the hitting side of the body, and I hold it here. So one cue that you can give yourself is that when you're done, the chin will stay on the shoulder, on the dominant hitting side shoulder like this. This actually forces you, if you swing like this, it forces you to finish high. Very important. A lot of players, when they swing, what do? They lift the shoulder and they finish low. All we're going to do is counteract it and finish in a different way. We're going to finish high, and we're going to keep the head on the dominant side of the body longer. This is a great cue. Think of a golfer. If you're playing golf, if you were to swing, when you're done with your swing, you wouldn't go like this at the end, unless you want to play poorly. When you finish your golf swing, where is the body? It's still, the weight is still balanced and shifting towards the dominant side, the hitting side, and watch where the head is. The head is on the shoulder, like this. If I'm a baseball hitter and I swing like this, look at where my head is. So the physics apply for all sports, especially hitting sports, around balance. You've got to keep your head here longer, and I call it staying on the left side if you're left-handed, or the right side if you're right-handed on the forehand, okay? You're going to focus on staying on your dominant side, almost like you're going to squeeze your abs a little bit. Now, I know this is extreme, I know this is an exaggeration, but remember, 99% of all players are doing this when they swing. They're giving up their dominant side too early, and they're steering the ball with their arm, and their weight is falling this way. So they're actually squeezing down this side, and their head's moving here. What they need to focus on, and what you can focus on, is again, keeping the head on the dominant hitting side longer. Great, great tip. Related to that is when you swing, at the end of the swing, you should be able to tap this back foot. And what I see with players is when they do this, their base is too wide like this, and this knee is bent. This is how they find their balance. But that's not what we want. When we're done with the swing, oh, by the way, I also see a lot of excessive knee bends when people are practicing this. I see systems and methods out there when people exaggerate the knee bend and they go up like this. You don't have to do that. I understand the principle of low to high with the swing path, extending through. I love that, that's great. But you can be very athletic and have a slight knee bend and get all of that accomplished and really torque the ball. You don't have to add the extra lift in the knee bend like this. If you watch Djokovic and Federer and other players warming up, you're not going to see them bend way down and go up like this. That's a principle that I believe is actually slowing improvement down. Slight knee bend, you can still have that low to high swing path. It works just great without the extra knee bend. So I just wanted to bring that point, drive that point home, that you don't need that extra knee bend when you're working on this skill. So getting back to my original point, when you swing at the end, you're keeping your head on the dominant side shoulder like this, and you are focusing on being able to tap the back foot like this. So I want a narrow base like this. I want a straight front knee like this. Again, most players are wide and they're bent like this, and they're like this. All we want to practice doing is the opposite effect, the exaggeration. When you're playing a match, you're not going to run around the court and do this. Let's be very clear. But when you're warming up, you can hold this. When you're on a ball machine, you can hold this. When you're getting balls fed or tossed, you can hold that. It's a great cue. Let's move on to some more dynamic movements to help you with your balance on your forehand. Let's talk about if you're playing a point and you actually step in to hit a forehand, you can bring this leg around and square up for balance. What are the things that I see that throw people off balance? Well, they rotate too early. So they bring this leg through too early and they bring it too far forward like this, and it throws them off balance. So what I always tell players to do, and they don't have to do it when they play points, if they're ripping forehands, they don't have to think about this. But again, we're working on the fundamentals that will help you improve day after day, week after week, year after year. When you square up, you want to get into a wide base like this. Wide athletic. Now I'm in a wide base. Now I'm down lower here. So I can be down in an athletic base if I know I'm going to square up, and I finish like this. Now this is balanced and strong. Remember, I usually see players that are narrow and they're forward. Okay, so they're narrow and they're forward, and they bring this leg through too early. So what we want to practice doing is we swing, and then the leg comes around and we're in a wide base. It'll come slightly in front of this leg like this, but you've got to practice, even if you're in the middle of the court, practice getting wider. Now, one drill you can do for your strength training is you can focus on holding what I call horse stance. And this is in our Home Tennis Workouts program. Home Tennis Workouts Unlocked. It's an absolutely awesome program. one of the exercises, and you hold this position to build your leg strength and get used to being here. Remember, most players are narrow and most players are forward. So we're going to work on this. Now, when you do this exercise, most players, to find balance, what do? They stick their butt back just like they're squatting in the gym. That's not what we want. If you study Djokovic and the other pros out there, when they get into horse stance, when they get wide, they're tucking the tail. Their spine is neutral like this. Very, very important to make sure that when you're done, you tuck the tail. So imagine that you have a bucket of water. If my butt goes back, the bucket of water is going to spill forward. So I've got to get my upper body back in space. It's going to almost feel like you're leaning back, which again goes counter to all the coaches out there saying, go forward, go forward, go forward. You want to be upright. You want to be upright. Again, I did a lot of Tai Chi in my day, and the principles stand the test of time in all sports and all discipline, is to be balanced, is to flow like water, like Bruce Lee, okay? So that is a great way to work on your balance, is to get into a wide base like this. Now, same thing holds true when you're done with this swing. You can be balanced, and assuming the ball is in your strike zone, when you're done, you should feel more weight on your outside leg here. A lot of players, when they square up, they're already here, and guess what? They're already thinking about getting back to the middle. There's so much talk out there about recovering fast, and we're going to get into this next. Recovering so fast. I'm not about recovering fast. I want to recover with balance, and I want the shot to be balanced first, then we recover. So when you bring this foot around, you want to feel like your head is still on this shoulder here. It's the same principle as when we stepped in and we had the dominant hitting side, the chin on the dominant hitting side here. Same thing, you square up, eyes are looking down at where the ball was, and your weight is still on this side, a little bit more. Remember, the problem players have is they're already here. They're already trying to recover. They've shifted. They've pulled out of the shot too fast. They're off balance. Critical point for you there. Let's talk about if you're moving wide. So if you're hitting an open stance shot, how do you keep your balance? Well, when you get out wide, when you're done, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to finish in the same position that you were in when you stepped in and you squared up. You're going to do the same thing on the wide ball. And notice my position right here. My base is wide. My base is wide like this. My head is here. Okay, I'm not hitting this wide ball and trying to recover back to the middle right away. I see a lot of drills being done out there by coaches, and they're teaching, you get out here and you get back. You get out here and you get back. No. Listen, if you're ripping forehands, if you're crushing forehands and you're on balance, you can do that all day long. That's why I'm a situational coach. I see what's happening and I make the adjustments for you. So you can rip the ball. So what you want to do is you want to get over here and you want to be on balance, and then you can recover. Okay? Am I on balance? Is my head on my dominant side still here? Am I in a wide base? Am I in horse stance? Most players are going to run over to this ball and they're going to be narrow. They're going to be like this, or they're going to be like this, or they're going to stick their butt out, or they're going to reach for the ball with the wrong footwork. So many things are going wrong, and so here's the solution. All you have to do is master your finish. And I'm not just talking about the finish of your swing, I'm talking the finish of your body. Can you stick the landing? Can you stick the landing like Djokovic out here? Oh, it's just a beautiful thing when you practice this skill and you don't worry about recovering back to the middle so fast. Recovering fast is going to be the death of your balance. Hitting a shot and trying to recover is going to kill your balance, and you're going to think, oh my gosh, I'm not going to have enough time because I'm holding this too long, or I'm holding this position. We're talking about, in practice, you should have balls fed to you or a ball machine and just hold this for 2 seconds. When a point's being played, you'll get here for a split second and then you'll recover. Now, the other thing you have to realize is that you don't have to recover fast to the middle. That's the other reason why you don't have to recover fast. You come out, you finish here, and then watch my move. Crossover, split, and I'm in position. I don't have to go crossover to the middle. You don't have to do that. Tennis wasn't designed, efficient tennis wasn't designed like that. It's here, crossover, and split. And notice my split, crossover, and split, and I'm splitting to the side so that I get into position right here. There's a lot more to the recovery that I can share with you, but just realize that you just want to focus on being balanced. If we review this, you have a nice finish with your racket, your chin is on your dominant hitting side, you feel a little more weight on this side. So I know there's the slalom move where you move like this. Okay, there's a place for that again if you're ripping the ball. But if you're shanking, if you're off balance, if you're not hitting great forehands, consider the tip that I'm sharing with you today. So as I was saying, when you finish, you're on balance. Nice finish with your racket. Chin is on your dominant side shoulder. You feel a little more weight on the side here. You're in a wide base when you're open stance like this. You're tucking the tail, or you're making sure the water bucket is neutral. When you're in the middle of the court, you make sure that your stance is narrow if you're not going to bring this leg around. You don't want it wide like this. Same thing holds true as the wide balls, you can bring this leg around. So lots that we packed in this video to help you with your forehand. I hope you enjoyed it. This is the secret to your balance, and I want you to get out and practice it.